The headlines tonight: Anambra state government to continue partnership with federal government to lift more people out of poverty. Anambra State Internal Revenue Service continues clamp down on illegal revenue collectors. Abuja Federal High Court strikes out suits challenging Saraki, Dogara, and 51 other lawmakers' defection. And on the foreign scene tonight, trial begins for a French medical doctor suspected of poisoning his patients. Amebere Ugunna, the Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budget and Development Partners, Mr. Mark Okoye, has assured that the Anambra state government will continue to partner the federal government in alleviating poverty in the state. Mr. Okoye made this known during a 3-day training for the state local government community-based targeting teams organized by the Anambra State Operations Coordinating Unit, SOCO, in collaboration with the National Society Safety Net Coordinating Office, NASCO, in Awka. Chibuzo Okoye has the report.
Declaring the training open, Mr. Okoye, represented by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Mr. Leo said that Anambra State Government is highly passionate about the program and assured that they will continue to align with the federal government to ensure that the poorest of the poor and the vulnerable in the state are lifted from their predicaments. The Commissioner revealed that the current administration has provided a significant amount of money in the 2019 appropriation bill to ensure continuous smooth implementation of the program in the state and urged participants to take their job seriously.
The landmark is being led today. Anambra State is moving from one level to the other. The level of achieving success in the first 30% of their targeting program, and moving from that 30% to the next level of getting the poverty situation of the remaining 70%.
The targeting officer, Southeast and North Central National Social Safety Net Coordinating Office, Abuja, Mr. Ezekiel Bala, commended the Anambra State government for taking the lead in the implementation of the program in Nigeria and explained that Anambra State is the second state in Nigeria to kick off the second phase of the program and urged them to sustain the tempo.
We have been covering the entire local governments in Anambra State. I want to encourage all of us here, the participants, we are expecting something superior to the first. And that could only be achieved by your efforts and your hard work.
The Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Social Investment Scheme, Mrs. Chinwe Wushu, and the State Coordinator of the program, Mr. Bid Okoli, who outlined the successes recorded under the various components of the Social Investment Scheme by the Willie Obiano's government, made it clear that the state government is desirous of sustaining the program. One of the participants, Reverend Kinsley Chukwukama of the National Orientation Agency, told the ABS that he is highly passionate about the job and assured that he will discharge his duties efficiently and effectively without fear or favor. The Batch A trainees for 5 local government areas in Anambra Central, namely Awka South, Idemili North and South, Anocha and Njikoka, after which other local governments will follow. In Awka, it's been Chibuzo Okoye for ABS News.
On the Anambra State Command of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has arrested 16 persons suspected for various degrees of drug offenses. Equiajide found the report.
The arrest was product of a 4-day raid on various smoking joints across the state. Reacting to the arrests, the state commander of the agency, Mr. Sule Momodu, said they will not relent in the war against drug abuse and trafficking. He added that the agency is analyzing the suspects, after which those who have no case to answer will be allowed to go, while those found culpable will be charged to court.
The gentlemen you saw today were arrested from various locations in Anambra State here. Sometime last week, we decided to execute a series of raids, most especially in the smoking joints that have been identified across the state. So they were all arrested from those smoking joints. Precisely, we were on the road for like 4 days, Monday, Tuesday, we took the rest on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Those are the people you see there, and presently they're undergoing different processes. They've been interrogated to determine those that will go to court and those that will not go to court. As soon as that is determined, actions will be taken, and those that will go to court, charges will be filed, and those that will not go, will refer them for counseling and eventually released back to the society.
Some of the suspects that spoke to the press, including 45-year-old Amechu Banese, Pascal Obo, Kabiru Abdullahi, Onyemechi Eze, Okechukwu Simon, among others, gave reasons for their involvement and subsequent arrests.
I'm a clearing agent from border. Due to the situation in the country, I decided to come back to my home. And my people are doing bad. I told them, the landlords, I told them that they should stop. They leveled allegation on me that I sell in their hands. Why I didn't. That's the reason why I'm here.
I come here, live here, I do job for time from my side. I didn't get person see me with them, I go to give up. But I didn't push back. I buy the one I take them, do work.
On 6th of this month, I got a call. My brother called me, said that I should stay in his shop, that he want to enter some market. So as I entered the shop, about 5 minutes after entering, NDLEA officers appear also. So they said that they are on search. They want to do research of my shop. So I don't have any other option, only to let them to search. So they searched
and they say something.
Some drugs. So they picked me and said that I should go to the office. So they found bromepazine, rose for me, blend, and the tramadol 120 milligrams.
I'm not shop buying a lava and a container in the pass because no one didn't Igbo, no side and no side, and the Moroka is very jumwa. So, and before I need to shop more. Oberogon has a bar break. And then after seeing here, uniform, a brave, on your one about also.
It will be recalled that last month, 2 suspects had been arraigned in court for drug-related offences.
The chairman, Anambra State Internal Revenue Service, Dr. David Nzeku, has reinstated the total commitment of the service to rid the state of illegal revenue collectors. Dr. Nzeku stated this in his office in Awka while briefing newsmen on the arrest of Makchuk's Global Resources and Tina Stores Limited, who issue fake demand notices, beat people, and take them to court without remitting the money into government coffers. Amaka Chibuzo-Okoye completes the report.
Dr. Nzeku stated that in spite of all the tax education and enlightenment campaigns ongoing in the state for people to desist from collecting illegal revenue, some still embark on the activity. He recalled that the governor had issued an executive order that nobody should indulge in collection of revenues in markets, parks, and other places until June this year, but lamented that they have continued to see all manner of illegal collections. The AIRS boss charged Anambra to ensure they pay their levies and tax into government account, adding that apart from this, they should know the people demanding for the money are fake. Dr. Nzeku noted that anyone caught will face the law, saying that 11 people are already in prison custody, while 2 have been sentenced to 3 years in prison and some still awaiting trials.
Continue to apply the relevant sections of the tax laws to see that we bring this menace to an end. We continue to ask our people to please contact the Anambra State Internal Revenue Service if for any reason they suspect that any person that is demanding any monies from them is indulging in illegal revenue collection. We can be reached easily on these phone numbers 070-6672-7750 or 090-5323-4816.
In Oka, Amaka Chibuzo Okoye, ABS News.
An Ogidi Magistrate Court, presided over by Moses Kano, has ordered that a 72-year-old man, Reuben Opala, be remanded in custody pending when he is able to meet his bail conditions. Sir Reuben, who is a suspended member of the People's Club International, is standing trial on a 3-count charge of alleged conspiracy to commit felony, vandalization, stealing of 1 laptop belonging to one Chief Joseph Ilonze, among other appliances, totaling over 4 million naira, property of People's Club International, Owerri Road, Onitsha. A.G. Kabana has the report.
The defendant, however, pleaded not guilty to all the charges against him. Counsel to the defendant, C.O. Nnabuife, had earlier applied for bail based on self-recognition, praying that his client will be faithful to the court. Jideofor Okongwu, counsel to the complainant, however, asked the court to demand for a substantial surety that can compel him to appear before the court as the need arises, as according to him, the defendant has zero tolerance for the court. The case was adjourned till July 24, 2019. Also before Magistrate Kano is another case of alleged embezzlement of funds meant for People's Club International, which the court adjourned till 17th of June this year for further hearing. The defendants were former officers of the said club. When the matter came up for hearing yesterday, the 2nd, 3rd, 6th, 7th, and 8th defendants were not in court, a situation the counsel to the complainant frowned at, stressing that it is mandatory for the defendants to appear before the court to answer for themselves. He argued that appearance of their counsel means they are all aware of the matter and prayed for a bench warrant against them, as sections 90, 100, and 101 give the court the powers to compel the appearance of the missing defendants. Counsel to the defendants, C.O. Nnabuife, asked the court to discountenance his colleague's argument, insisting that the sections cited do not assist in any way. In his ruling, Magistrate Kano upheld Chief Okongwu's submissions as relevant to the case at hand, as he has the Attorney General's fiat to prosecute the matter. From the Magistrate Court, Ogidi, Ejike Abana, ABS News.
Away from that, it is that time of the year when the aroma of roasted corn and pear rent the air, especially in the evenings, dragging everyone to the corner where the aroma is coming from. Our correspondent, Ngozi Obileri, captured the mood of the patronizers of the corn vendors at Amobia Junction by the Express in our reports.
It is at this time that people are seen every evening clustering around the corn vendors, either to eat it fresh from the local oven made with charcoal or to while away time in form of relaxation. Activities are now building up at Amobia bypass axis of Enugu-Onitsha Express Road, known for roasted corn and pear by this time of the year, as the vendors have started taking positions, while those who look forward to this time of the year wasted no time in patronizing them. Some of those who spoke to the ABS, Mr. Uzo Nzeribe, said roasted corn and pear are his favorite delicacies.
I look forward to this period because I love eating corn with ube. You guys call it ube, isn't it? Yeah, I love eating corn and ube, and I would always look forward to the season.
A Yoruba indigene who is based in Onitsha and others said corn is a tropical produce that is savored by many, as he said that it can serve as a complete meal when combined with fruits like pear and coconut. ABS gathered that the vendors source the fresh corn from Delta and Edo states, often referred to as Ndi Bendel, whom they explained normally have their maize planted very early in the year.
Part of our tropical food, and it's not only that you take it in a snacky way, but it's also a full meal.
Simba kamgba okpuru ka nwe goro ka n'ube
na anyị na-ejeto ọ ga-ejeto ọ dịga anyị chewere ya ele mgbe na-adụ anyị ọ na-adụ ọgala anyị na-ejeri anya and nke express ya mara mgbe nwere iwe tinye iche adacha aga adara nke ọ ga-ebidoro nke Amobia a na-esi ebe mee package mee webil ndị Lagos na-akpọ m ebidogo ndị Abuja ndị obodo oyibo onye bụ ọsị ọka express ọka dụkwa anyị na-echetu ya echeto.
From Amobia Bypass, I am Ngozi Obileri for ABS News.
Well, moving on to our national stories now. It is victory for Senate President Dr. Bukola Saraki and Speaker of the House of Representatives Yakubu Dogara at the Federal High Court in Abuja has struck out the suits filed by the Legal Defense and Assistance Project LEDAP challenging the defection of 53 lawmakers for lack of local standing to file the suit. Delivering judgment in the case today, Justice Akona Bank said although the plaintiff has a good case and the good intention of promoting good political behavior and rule of law, it has no local standing to sue. He further explained that LEDAP was not a political party that sponsored the defected lawmakers or the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, which was conferred with the powers to monitor political parties. He added that the plaintiff was neither a constituent of the defectors nor a registered voter that voted for them. Beyond that, Justice Bank said LEDAP had not put anything before the court to show that the voters urged them to sue on their behalf, and thereafter the case was struck out. Earlier, the judge had, however, stated that the defection of the 53 members of the National Assembly was unlawful based on the judgment of the Supreme Court, which had laid down reasons that would allow for defection. According to him, the lawmakers did not meet that requirement. And on business news tonight, the Central Bank of Nigeria is targeting to revive at least 20 textile companies before the end of the 2019 fiscal period. The move is contained in the technical cooperation proposal for revamping the cotton, garment, and textile sector in Nigeria. The proposal was made available to newsmen shortly after the inauguration of the Textile Implementation Committee. The committee was inaugurated by the CBN Governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, yesterday in Abuja. Present at the event was the Governor of Kano State, Abdullahi Ganduje, and the Deputy Governors of Kaduna and Jigawa States, among other stakeholders in the CTG sector. The committee, according to the proposal, is saddled with the responsibility to resuscitate at least 50 textile firms by the end of 2023. The committee is also expected to collaborate with stakeholders to identify, name, and shame textile smugglers in Nigeria, as well as develop a framework for the eradication of smuggling and dumping of textile products in Nigeria.
This business news is brought to you courtesy of Ezebo Microfinance Bank Limited, formerly Umudioka Community Bank, Afigo Market, Umudioka. We bridge the gap.
And moving on to our foreign scene, an anesthesist in France is suspected of poisoning patients during surgery to trigger heart failures and then heroically bring them back from that doorstep. On 9 occasions, however, prosecutors allege Dr. Frederick Pecher failed, resulting in people dying. Pecher denies the charges. Pesacom prosecutor Etienne Mantius told reporters yesterday of evidence linking Pecher to 24 out of 66 suspicious incidents that happened during surgical proceedings at the clinic where he practiced. Pecher, age 47, is suspected of injecting lethal doses of potassium chloride or anesthetics in perfusion bags during benign surgeries. Pecher had admitted criminal acts were committed at the clinic but said he was not responsible for them, according to the prosecutor. Pecher, who faces a life sentence, has denied any wrongdoing, but the prosecution has asked that he be kept under arrest ahead of trial. And on sports news, Japan today passed laws to ban drones being flown over Tokyo 2020 Olympic sites and U.S. military facilities as a measure aimed at preventing terror attacks. Under the new legislation, drone flights will be restricted over the Olympic sites as well as venues for the Rugby World Cup that kicks off this September. Drones will also be banned over Japan's self-defense forces facilities. Current law already bans the flying of drones over key facilities such as the Prime Minister's office and the Imperial Palace. Flying drones in densely populated areas is also forbidden, but a foreign tourist received a warning from police last week after he flew one over the famous Scramble crossing at Shibuya. Several people told police they had seen a drone-like object near the Imperial Palace ahead of the new Emperor's first public appearance. And that's it on the news tonight. But remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television Subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/ABS Radio TV online. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. And just before we go tonight, a quick reminder of our top stories. Anambra State Government is to continue partnership with federal government to lift more people out of poverty. Anambra State Internal Revenue Service has continued clamp down on illegal revenue collectors. Abuja Federal High Court has struck out suits challenging Saraki, Dogara, and 51 other lawmakers' defection. Now, the foreign scene were brought to you. The trial has begun for a French medical doctor suspected of poisoning his patients. And that's the size of our package tonight. Many thanks for joining the bulletin. I'm Ebere Ugunna.